Awesome. Well, we have the recording starting, and to make the most of our hour together, let's just get started. So I think if you have a website you want all of us to look at, go ahead and just put the URL in the chat, and then I'll share my screen and we can go through it together. And if anyone has feedback with what we're looking at that might be helpful, then please share it. I think we'll just approach it that way. So whoever's first in the chat, we'll do that. But go ahead and paste your link in there, and we'll just kind of take them in order.
Do you want the back end or the front end?
We'll just do the front end, and we'll just kind of review what you've put together and provide some suggestions on how it could be better.
Okay. Where is the chat thing? Oh, yes, there we are. Come on. That's not the chat. There's the chat.
Do you find it?
Okay, I found the right place now.
Okay.
I'm so used to Zoom, and none of the backgrounds are my backgrounds.
All right, Ardell, we got your website. So let me pull it up, share my screen.
What I'm in the process of doing right now, I just launched my third book, and it's the last in the trilogy, at the end of January. And I'm going through the process. I just made it a series on Amazon and set up a series page. And and I just last night I did it with Ingram Spark, and so what I need to do is on my books page, I need to change that to, okay, clicking on any of these takes you to the individual books page. But now I need to somehow make this a series, a trilogy in order.
Okay.
And I'm just not too sure what I need to do to this page.
To the books page?
Yeah, to make that so.
Okay. So what we're looking at here, you want to like combine these three, or you have another set you want to add?
No, this is it. This is it. This is the trilogy.
Okay.
And they're the only books I have published. And I don't know, maybe it's just a matter, because the links to all of their individual pages are on their individual pages. And if you click on books on the menu, it takes you to each individual book. And then at the bottom of that, I have the links to the purchase links, the buy links. So maybe all I need to do is on the first page. See, there's all of the different four different formats that it's available in, and so maybe it's just a matter of putting the text that I have created or written for the Amazon author page and put that above those pictures, and maybe have a banner with all three. I should show you a banner that I've got prepared, but it's not it needs fixing because it doesn't have the right series name on it.
Okay. So from a design perspective for this page, I think your text, you have too much here.
Oh yeah.
I think it's this is like a summary type page, just kind of listing what you have available. And this is too much for people already.
Okay.
You should keep it to like a sentence or two that is maybe like 4 lines, 3 lines long, just short and sweet. So
well, that's what I've got in this document. I should show it to you.
And then having the 3 columns, I think is okay, but as you keep writing and adding more books to this page, this will be hard to manage. And so I would do a row. So you'd have your image that you have, and then to the right of it, I would have the title of the book. So a person of interest, your super short summary about the book or details about the book. And then below that, I would add a button, not text link like this, but like a button that says learn more or buy now or something like that they can click on. And if you wanted additional button links for them to easily get to Amazon or Apple iBooks or wherever they can buy it, then you could put that below the button, something like that. So your image, and then to the right of it, I do the title, summary, a button to learn more, and then below that you can do text links like you've done here.
Okay.
Learn more.
So the image is on the left, right?
Yep. Image on the left.
Okay, and then short synopsis.
Yep.
Okay, I want to show you the document, and it might be exactly what you're looking for.
Okay.
Where is it?
You can share your screen.
Okay, let me just get the document up here first. From Sparks, it's Amazon. Okay. Oh, this has been altered. Yeah, okay, this has been altered. Where's the share screen button? Full screen, layout, text, captions. Where is the closed caption? In here.
So you're looking for a square with an up arrow on it.
Yeah, activities. No activities? No, it's not there.
Do you see the icon with the square has an up arrow in it?
Yes.
That's your
I see.
present button.
It's a present button. Okay.
Yep.
The window. This one. Okay. Okay. This has been altered a little bit in the final analysis. So okay. This is just an introductory sentence, and then I've got in the first book, in the second book, in the third book. So there's 4 lines, 6 lines, 6 lines. Is that short enough?
I think that you could try it out.
Yeah.
The goal with the design is you don't want it to appear overwhelming.
Okay.
Because if it looks like it's too much to read, they'll never read it. They'll skip over it.
Okay.
They might even just leave the website because they feel lost, they feel overwhelmed, and they'll just abandon the whole idea.
Okay.
So I would start with what you have here.
Okay.
It appears to be shorter than what's there already. So yes. I would start with that and go about it that way.
Okay. So above the images, I would have a banner with the 3 books, or No, just
No.
just an introductory sentence, and then the images and this.
I
Because
don't even know
I
if you
want to
would
introduce
need.
it as a series.
Sure, and you could. But I think it would need to be a lot simpler. You could say Murder by Bits and Bytes series.
It's actually the Samantha Bowers mysteries, and that's up here in the first paragraph. It's the Samantha Bowers mysteries, and then the and I don't have the titles in it. I just say the Samantha Bowers series chronicles the life of a young woman cluttered with murders. So that's all it is. That's just one sentence. It isn't anywhere near as long as this because it doesn't have the titles of the books in it.
Sure. So this is my opinion. I think you just need like an H tag, a header statement that's just the Samantha Bowers series.
Okay.
And then you'll have the 3 books listed below it.
Okay.
And that should communicate pretty well that this is a series. Everything below it, everything below Samantha Bowers series, they will say, okay, there's 3 books. Visually, they'll see there's 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have the book titles, your paragraph synopsis about the book, and then they can decide to move on from there. Because the goal really is you don't want them to spend so much brain power energy to understand what this is. They want to like super quick reads. And the goal is you want to sell a book. So you don't want them to spend so much time on this page trying to read and understand. You want them to know right away. You have 3 books in the series, and then they're in order, so they'll probably click on the first book and they can learn more, and then they'll see right away the buy links. And so
that's another thing I was going to ask you about is the learn more button takes you to those secondary pages, individual pages for individual books.
Which is fine.
Now, all my buy links are at the bottom. Now, it seems to me I heard you say someplace that the buy link should be at the top, not this page, but the individual pages. They yell like this.
Yep. Yeah. So that's what I would do is I would move your buy links, all of these to the top.
Okay.
You can keep them at the bottom as well. There's nothing wrong with keeping them in both places, but I would only have the buttons across the top. So this whole bit of text you don't need at the top.
Okay.
This will be pretty self-explanatory that a person of interest book is available in these 5 places. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd put it at the top. And so part of me is wondering, the video seems really big. It's almost like too much for me because I just want to kind of scroll right past it and see what else there is. I would probably make that 2/3 of the width or something just to kind of bring it in. Make it feel less overwhelming.
Should I put the text beside it then?
I think the text is okay below it.
Okay.
You could even possibly put it up above and just kind of see what that balance looks like. Because now, after you make your change, you'll have your buttons across the top.
That's right.
And then
maybe I should move the cover.
The video, I think it can stay there right below the buttons, but make the video, change the sizing width to like 66%, just kind of bring it in a little bit. Then this paragraph can stay.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I would give that a shot. I think that would look better.
Okay, and then buttons to the top. And what about the other 2 books?
Take a look real quick.
They've done the same thing there. I'm going to redo that first video. Apple was very particular about where their little buy link went. It had to be first. Okay.
So I think for consistency, I would match the format
Okay.
of everything you're doing. So all your videos should be sized the same. You should have your purchase links across the top.
Okay.
The other page had like a review of the book. If you have one for this, I would put that in as well.
Okay. Yes, I do have one from the Whistler International Book Awards. It's a paid review, but they were painfully honest with the first book. This one did much better. I seem to be improving in my writing.
Yeah, I think your other page is formatted a little better because a lot of this, like this here, feels awkward with the exclamation points.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you were succinct, consistent with what you're trying to communicate, it would be better.
Okay.
Announcing like the audiobook version, I don't know if I'd create like such a banner type announcement like we have an audiobook. Like
that was last year, so that can be definitely reduced. But I definitely want to get Christy Alsip's name in there somewhere.
Sure. And I think you could do probably something at the bottom, underneath the cover of the cover of the book. You just say narrated by Christy Alsip.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Giving more room for a review like you have on the other page.
Okay.
I think that would probably flow a little better.
Okay.
And then too, just when you think about consistency, as you start adding other books and things like that, creating more of these types of pages, it'll be easier to switch out content or put new content in when you know the different bits and pieces that you need to have for one of these pages.
You're probably going to think go ahead.
What was that?
I was just going to say you're probably going to think that the third book is quite cluttered because I had a lot of images in there before I had a cover design, and I can probably use some of the images in. Okay, see, this is all old stale news because that's over with. But I had all of these images before I had a cover.
Sure.
So they can probably go in. I could probably use some of the quilt images. I can probably use that in the, what is it called? A1 in Amazon. What's it called? Where you can put more advertising in an Amazon format with a bunch of images. Have you seen that?
No, it doesn't sound familiar to me. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So yeah, I
move the buttons to the top.
Yeah, same.
And
yeah,
I don't have
same
the audio
feedback.
book. Sorry.
Same feedback as a person of interest. If this is going to be our format for all of these pages, then the other two need to look pretty close to the same.
Okay.
Because this page right here to me seems clean, doesn't feel cluttered, easy to understand, navigate. There's just enough visual interest here.
Okay.
I would add some creativity here with this text here, like bolding the formats that's available. I would make this text a little smaller, just getting some variation in terms of font size, font weight, just to kind of help this stand out a little more against this bit of text.
I think that's all one, what do you call it, block. But
Sure.
I can make the various lines different,
Right.
Different weights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So play around with it.
Yeah. See, there's where I could put the narrated by Christy Alsip for the other audiobook.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you make the other pages format like this, then
Okay.
you've already got a space for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, make all of these pages consistent. I think it'll go a long way.
Okay.
Because if someone's looking for information, they will start to learn what to expect. In this case, every page they go to, they'll know that purchase links are going to be across the top. There's going to be a video, another synopsis paragraph. Below that, they're going to learn that there's a review, and next to that is what formats it's available in and who narrated the audiobook. So just that consistency will help them navigate the pages. They'll know exactly where to look, and they're less likely to bounce off of your website before even considering purchasing it. So yeah, I think this is your best formatted page so far. Needs a few tweaks, and then I would just get the others to mimic that the best that you can.
Okay. Now, can I clone a page? Is there a way to clone in Divi? Is there a way to clone a page and then just swap out the content?
100%. Yes. Let me load up my little template site here, and I can walk you through how to do that exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to load any page here. Let's edit with Divi. Okay, so an existing page that already has the Divi builder running, you'll want to click on the purple dot that expands out your tools at the bottom. And then you want to click on the plus sign. It's going to be the first purple dot of the 7 that's here.
Okay.
So when you click on that, it's going to present you with your load from library options that you typically see when you create a new page, and it gives you these options of where you want to start from.
Okay. I'm not used to working from the front. I'm used to working from the back.
So it's
are the
still
icons the same?
Yeah, icons are the same.
Okay.
You're still looking for this plus sign.
All right.
To load from library, and you'll know you're in the right place when you see this window with the 3 options: pre-made layouts, your saved layouts. This is your Divi library section, or existing pages. So in this case, you would want to copy the person of interest page, and you'll see that listed here. And so you could you would click on that page, and it would replace everything that we have.
Okay.
With that content.
So then I just go into the gear, and can I copy and paste from the other pages, or should I get now the text isn't in the library, is it? Text content, is it?
No, so if you just did what I showed you here.
Yeah.
By copying an existing page.
Yeah.
It would pull all of that content that's on the other page to the one that you're currently editing. So you wouldn't have to worry about copying and pasting anything.
Oh, you mean okay. The person of interest is the one we want to copy, right?
Yes.
So I'm in Murder by Bits and Bytes, and I go to the plus sign.
Yep. Go to the plus sign.
And then I from the library, where's that again? Show me.
So from here, you want to click on the tab that says your existing pages.
Yes, right.
Okay. And then you'll find the one that's a person of interest.
Okay.
And when you click on it, it'll replace all the content that's currently on the page you're editing. Unless you have this checkbox at the top of the content, checked or unchecked.
Which I can't quite see it. It's very small.
Let's see if I can.
Maybe I can. Like, can I change the gallery here to a smaller size? I can't seem to reduce the gallery. Okay.
It's not letting me zoom in.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. So what you're saying is when I click on the person of interest, the one that we want to clone, and it will replace Murder by Bits and Bytes, but will it bring the content with it, or will the content remain Murder by Bits and Bytes?
No, it'll be a person of interest replacing anything that you have.
Okay, so now to get the second the content for the second book into that, how do I do that?
So what might be easiest is from your existing pages tab is uncheck the box that says replace existing content.
Oh, okay.
So uncheck that, and then when you go to clone the content of another page, it will add it below. So I'll do that now. So I'm going to click the home page. Yeah, let's go back to desktop mode here. So before, our page ended here below the section 2 title. And now when I scroll, I have my home page layout right below it. And now I can easily copy and paste content. And then as I move content around, I can start to delete sections that I no longer need.
I see. Okay, so this it doesn't replace the Murder by Bits and Bytes, and so I can take it out of the Bits and Bytes content and put it into an overwrite the person of interest, because they're all on the same page.
Yep.
Both of them. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that should help.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I think I got it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys have a website we can look at? Eric or Mentele?
I have one I can share that's in progress, but I actually have like specific Divi questions I'm looking for. So I don't know if that's okay. I don't want to ruin like your format of what's going on here in this meeting.
No, I mean, I don't think Eric has anything, so we can definitely answer your Divi questions.
I will give you the website.
But Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. Eric shared with us the project he was working on last month, so.
I'm good.
All right. So I want to pull up your website.
I could probably actually look at it. Hold on, I could probably give you a more specific page to go to. I wrote down a couple questions because I was like, who would know the answer to this? And I was like, maybe you guys will. Here's one that's like a specific example. I'm having an issue with formatting from custom fields and not sure if anyone would know how to fix this issue.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. And we can all take a look here. So this is the link you shared, right?
Yeah. So for some background, I have a bunch of different templates I've created in the Divi builder, but I've used custom fields as a way to pull in content. So the formatting will stay the same because there's like a billion different product pages that we have that have a bunch of information that need to be put on there. And, you know, we want the layout to be consistent. But I've put in, because I've used like the WYSIWYG editor or like text fields, but when I've placed stuff in, it's showing all the HTML formatting. And I don't know if you guys know how to get it to not show that, even though it's fine in the custom fields. And when I switch between visual editor and like text mode, like it's all fine, but on the actual page, it's like rendering all the HTML. So I don't know how to get rid of it because I don't want that.
You're using advanced custom fields, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let me go to a thing here with dynamic content. See if I can get it to show. No, not on this site. So there's an option that when you're adding in dynamic content, and maybe you've seen it, but you do have to kind of scroll a little bit for it. And let's go theme builder. On this specific site, had that exact same problem, and
came to the right
way we, yeah. So trying to find where. Oh, let's try this. Okay, so this is advanced custom field, and what it's going to do is it's going to display an image that's loaded in through the WYSIWYG
option,
editor.
enable raw HTML option?
Yep. Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
Enable that, and then it'll render all of your HTML code that you have here as HTML, because right now it's just loading in as text, because that's what it thinks it is. So as soon as you switch those over for each of your custom fields that you've added in here, it'll render.
So you just fix that in the template. Okay.
Yep.
That's easy enough. Oh my gosh, that saves my life. I was like, this looks not right.
Yeah.
It's been driving me crazy. So I don't want to have to like go and change 50 some pages manually.
Yeah, nope, you shouldn't have to do that. So yeah, just definitely go back, make sure that enable raw HTML is set.
Oh, cool. I didn't even realize that option was on there. So you saved my life. Like hours of time. Okay, I have another I had like maybe 3 questions or something. Because we can go back to the same example. Because on this template, the other issue I'm running into, and I actually talked to Divi support, and they were like, we don't really have a way to do this, because I was trying to use the selective sync option for some stuff before, and then long story short, ended up changing how I did the templates with custom fields, because most of it worked better with that idea. The other problem that I'm having though is like further down the page, there's a section to show blog posts, but there's a category set up that we're like importing from the previous design or previous setup of this WordPress site. So they have a category for all the different like types of products, but since selective sync is not an option that works for displaying blog posts, I don't know how to get it to show dynamically like blog posts that are related to the product. So like on this page, we want to have blog posts that are related to boats or whatever link I sent you, boat enclosures, because they have like 50 different types of products or something. There's a lot going on there. So I don't know. Right now, it's just pulling in blog posts in general, but I don't know if there's another solution to how I can go about this, or like set it up differently so that I can actually select the category that's related to each product and have it display there at the bottom of the page, but set it up so that I can have it in the template and not have to like manually go put it in everywhere.
Sure. I
or if it's not
what you're
possible,
saying.
I will just tell the client this isn't going to work anymore.
I understand what you're asking for, and it can be complicated. So if your product pages like this all have the same template and you only want to manage one template, then you're going to have to do some custom coding to get your category to look at not only the product page, but also go and pull a similar category for your blog posts and get it to work.
Okay.
The other option is you create templates for each product category, and then you could use the blog module to just set, blog posts about boats, just so you can have that custom category. Okay. So there's a couple ways. For me, I don't want to manage a ton of templates, especially if there's a lot of categories to have related blog posts for. So there is a plugin that I really like by diviplugins.com, and it's the Divi FilterGrid plugin. Okay. What I like about this is that I can display a feed of any post type. So whether it's a blog post, products, or if I'm creating custom post types for, say, team members or locations or whatever, I can use this plugin and get them to display like a blog feed. It has that flexibility. Cool. It also has the flexibility of adding in custom code. So if I'm looking for a custom filter to say, I have a product page categorized as boats. I want to detect what that category is for my product page, and I want to go find a similar blog post category and display that feed. And so you can create custom code for that using this plugin.
Okay.
And they got documentation on how to write all that.
Okay. Can you post the link for that in the chat?
You bet. Yes. So let me jump back over here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And I've been using this plugin for years, and I think it works really well with Divi. It hasn't caused like code conflicts or big issues, display issues.
Okay.
It has worked so well.
Awesome.
So yeah, take a look at that. And I was just going to show a quick example of where we did that on this site. Appearance, theme editor. And so if you're going to add in custom code, you're going to want like a child theme with a functions.php file in there.
Yeah.
And let me find the blog post. Okay, so here it is. So this is Divi FilterGrid custom query related posts. So this is for the blog, and on the blog, they wanted to show a certain, they only wanted to show related posts within a category. They didn't want any other category showing up under related posts. And so we use the custom code to go find the current category, get the ID, and then we're pulling it in based on that ID for the taxonomy query. And then just some basic stuff. So yeah, with going this way, there's so many options, especially if you have a requirement like you have product categories, you have post categories, and at some point they're going to overlap and you want them to only display based on your product category. This is going to be perfect.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I can see what that code's doing, so that makes sense to me.
Perfect.
That's awesome. That helps out a lot.
This website, he has documentation on getting started with that, because you do have to have like a certain custom or like a function name, and
And I
think it's
assume
like,
you probably set it up in the plugin somewhere.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
making guesses of how it works.
yeah. So this is what it has to start with, and then you can add in all of your variables and things like that,
Cool.
something like that.
Awesome.
But again, the documentation, he has so many examples of what it'll do, what you need to just create those custom queries for the plugin itself to use.
Okay.
So
Cool.
pretty slick.
Looks like a great option. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
And did you have another question, or did that kind of answer a bunch of
Yeah,
them?
I had one other one that I kept noticing on my site. So if you were on there, I think you probably maybe just noticed it. It is a design thing, but I realized Divi is doing something weird and I'm not sure how to do it. So because I have like the fixed header at the top, but if you scroll down further on the page and then try to go to the menu, for some reason it changes all the text to white or something. So you can't actually see like the menu items, even though I have different styling set up in the theme customize. Is that what it is? Theme customizer? Yeah. Yeah, like that, where I'm like, but it only happens if you scroll down the page. If you're scrolled at the top of the page, it looks fine. Do you know why it would be doing that? Is it because I have some custom settings in there? Because I know like by default, I don't think it has background colors and stuff like that before you start, doing your own customized styling, which I obviously added in some stuff. So I don't know, but I've never run into that issue before out of all the times that I've ever used Divi.
Right. So you're not using a custom global header in your theme builder, correct? You're using just the
I don't
default.
think so. Yeah.
Right. So yours looks like this. Like you don't have a global header added in your theme builder, right?
Yeah. Let me just verify that though. I don't remember setting it up, but in case I would,
Okay.
just can't remember. I was like, I don't think I did, but I just want to double check on my end. Sorry, it's taking a second here.
You're totally fine.
Yeah, I don't have one on there. So
Okay. So the reason I ask is because if you did, it would overwrite anything you're doing in Theme Customizer, more than likely. So you've also added in some custom CSS. And my guess is what's happening is at the top of the page, we have a certain class for the navigation, the header. As soon as we scroll, it changes that class to full width. So
and
it
it's
adds a
grabbing the
different
other
styling.
CSS. Okay.
So I would bet that you need to just adjust your CSS to also include the full width or fixed header. As you scroll and the class changes, it picks up this styling as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I might have an idea of what's going on now, because I think I
Okay.
had to do some override fixed header setting because it wasn't letting me style it the way I wanted it with the default Divi functionality. So yeah, that's actually making sense to me now. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but yeah, that helps out. So I'll just dig through my CSS and figure that out.
Okay.
So yeah.
Perfect. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you agree. Sometimes the theme customizer options for the default Divi navigation just doesn't cut it for me. And with the introduction of the theme builder, I will almost always build out my own custom navigation and get it looking the way that I want, because then I have the whole power of Divi theme builder behind this, as opposed to the limited functionality of theme customizer.
Okay.
So
cool.
Just some options if you're looking to streamline your code or condense it so you don't have so much just to get it to look the same way. I think you could probably achieve a good chunk of it with theme builder, but
okay.
by this point, it's probably just adding in some other classes and your
Yeah, I
problem's
think I
fixed.
Yeah, I
So,
think I just have to add in like one other piece of CSS code and it'll be fine. So
yeah,
yeah, I think that'll help out with that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's probably, I would do that too. If it was just quick fix.
I'm already so far deep into the site that just seems like the easier option at this
Yeah.
point because there's so many pages on the site. It's crazy. But yeah. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
agree.
that helps out. I
Cool.
was gonna ask one other question just in general in case anyone has any advice about this and I've only thought about I thought about it more with this site because I know there's more than like I want to say we have at least 125 pages or something. And I've been concerned just like the weight of Divi in general, maybe slowing down the site. So I don't know if there's anything. I mean, it seemed like it was loading fine on your end while you're sharing it. But
Yeah.
once we get like more traffic coming to it, I'm just kind of worried maybe it'll slow things down or like not load properly. So I don't know if there's any suggestions to keep it from running slow or loading slow, or I don't know. I was even on, I'm not sure if it was a slower internet connection issue the other day, but it did kind of like crash on me a little bit while I was working out, but it's been fine otherwise. So I don't know if it was purely a connection issue, but it led me to think, are there other things I can do to just optimize this? Because there are like so many pages and so many things going on with this website.
Sure.
Disregard the few things in there that are still missing, some like gallery stuff.
Yeah, you're totally
Just letting
fine.
you know that I'm like, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just that general question, like, because I know Divi is just not the lightest theme. So I don't know if there's anything else that I can do in addition. Like I've tried Googling stuff and I was like, I feel like I've already been kind of doing some of this stuff. So I just worry once we like launch this new site and they're like directing a lot of traffic to it that there could be potential issues and I don't want that. So I don't know if there's anything else
Yeah.
that can be done considering just I can't like delete 100 pages on the site to make it run faster. So
Right. So valid concern. If you're running the latest version of Divi, the performance isn't going to be because of Divi. They've made
okay.
a lot of improvements in the last year and a half to Divi
Okay, awesome.
to make it extremely light, extremely light. And in fact, a lot of the resources that Divi was trying to load on every page is now dynamic. And so as long as you have a lot of those performance features enabled, Divi will only load exactly what it needs more often than not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
realize they had made all those changes, so that's nice.
yeah. So that doesn't mean that your website still won't struggle. For e-commerce websites, especially ones as big as this, I have moved them to Cloudways, which is a cloud server, and you can scale resources up and down. So if you're worried about traffic or you're going to have a really good marketing campaign that will bring even more than normal, Cloudways might be a good place to host the website. In addition to just having really good hosting, such as Cloudways, I would also look at getting a CDN enabled for the website.
Okay.
Usually they cost money if they're going to be any good at all. Cloudways does have one. I also use a caching plugin called WP Rocket, and they have a CDN service as well. It's like $8 a month. But that combination of really good cloud hosting with caching and CDN, that website should load in like a second.
Okay. I'll just talk to
So
their IT person or the one who's in charge of their server stuff
okay,
and just make sure that's all set in place. So make
okay,
sure it's all good. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So take a look at all that. But I use Divi for all my websites, and I'm able to get really big, complex websites loading in 2 seconds with that
Okay.
sort of setup. So yeah, I don't think it's a big concern.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be a long-term issue. And me like regretting I used Divi to build this ginormous website. So
Yeah, no, it's definitely a valid concern. But
cool.
yeah, it's going to come down to hosting and then your solutions for caching.
Okay, cool.
And just that
Yeah, which
optimization
I'd
there.
set up some caching stuff already, but yeah, I will just, like I said, talk to the guy who's managing the server and make sure we just have all the other settings set up in place to handle everything. So
Cool.
easy
And then
enough.
you do know about under Divi Support Center, the system status. If your server is
Mhm.
deficient, it'll tell you what
Mhm.
you need. Perfect.
Yeah, I did take a
Cool.
look at that actually like yesterday. So I think we're all good. There was only like one error that popped up, but it said it was because it was like on a staging site and not like the live URL. So I was like, okay, we'll just see if that one goes. It was some PHP error, but it said it was because it was on a staging site. So whatever that means. But yeah, I don't know why it's any different if it's on a staging site versus a live site when it comes to PHP, but that's what it said. So other than that, everything's been good on the site. So I think everything's looked good compared to all the stuff I was checking from what I read online. So I think I'm okay.
Good. Cool.
Cool. Thanks for answering my billion questions. Sorry if I took time away from the rest of you.
Thanks for bringing them. That's awesome. So Ardell, we are going to share your screen real quick, but before I forget, I need to get a screenshot for the Divi blog. So I'm going to pull up my screenshot tool here, and then I'll count of 3 if you guys can give me your best smiles. And all right, 1, 2, 3. Great. Awesome. All right, Ardell, share your screen and we'll walk through how to clone pages. Awesome. Okay, so your chat said you weren't seeing the button we were talking about.
Yeah, up at the top. Of course, my screen does not look quite like yours.
Right. So it's actually in that purple bar that says the Divi Builder, and there's those icons there on the right.
Oh, here?
Yep.
This one?
Yep, that's the one we're looking for.
Really? Okay. Okay. I was looking at the top of the page. Okay, so then
you'll click on your existing pages tab.
Existing pages, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then go down to pages here.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you click that, it'll just filter out pages versus any of those others.
Okay. And
but is a person of interest, is it a page or is it a post or a project or is it something else?
it's a page.
But it's not on the list there.
No.
Unless you did something else that we're not.
Do you want me to go back to the page and so you can have a look at it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm like, I've had that issue before, but it was usually due to multiple languages.
See, when I look here, here's a person of interest. And then there's books, which is that cover one. And then there's links to a person of interest, bits and bytes, and pins and needles. They're all separate pages. So I went into this one, edit, and this is where I was.
All right, let's try clicking on the plus sign again. It should show up.
Okay.
Because the page is published and there's loading Divi.
Okay.
And then without filtering,
I've got to untick this thing here, right?
It already is. So, yeah.
Okay, untick. Okay, so now down to pages.
Can you scroll in this area right here?
No.
Doesn't look like you can. So let's untick pages, and then let's just scroll and see what's in that list.
Untick pages. Okay, and go through here.
I am perplexed.
It looks like, from what I can see, that you had created it as a post, because it looks like up towards the top you had your person of interest page, but it was created as a blog post and not as a page.
Well, should we look under post then and see if it's there?
Well, you
Yeah,
didn't have to see it. Yeah, it just, isn't that what it is right there? Person of interest book tour? Or is that not it? Am I seeing something different?
Where you know that's a part, that's a blog post. You know, that's nothing to do with the books. Yeah, these are all blogs. Okay, so go back to the pages one. Maybe only one of them shows, not the one I'm on and not the one I want. That's strange.
You can also just export and import it.
That's so true.
So,
Maybe if we look over here at some of these things here, these buttons here, that person of interest is in red, bits and bytes is green, pins
That's
and needles
SEO stuff. That shouldn't have
is
anything
green.
to do with it.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
SEO.
Oh, is it? Oh,
What-
okay. I thought
Yeah,
it
what
might have.
impact what we're doing.
Huh.
Another,
All published.
so there's a couple of different ways as well. So you could export and import the layout, as Eric suggested. You can even copy and paste sections
yep.
from a person of interest onto one of those others.
Okay, so I would go into a person of interest.
Yep.
And then go into each one of these sections and copy and paste it into the other. Isn't there a duplicate? No, but it would
Not-
duplicate it on this page.
Not really.
No.
That wouldn't do what we're looking for, but
For a rank
Yeah,
amateur, it's difficult.
we can walk you through how to copy and paste sections, or we can walk you through how to export and import layouts.
Which do you think is easier? Exporting sounds easier.
I think they're both easy.
Oh.
It just depends. So copy and paste would require more clicks back and forth. Exporting and importing would allow us to import the entire layout onto the page. But yeah, just another preference.
What was the one about copying and pasting the entire layout? What was that?
No, we can't do the entire layout. We can just do pieces of the layout.
Well, it seems to me the entire layout is easier than
Perfect.
going
Okay.
back and forth.
Sounds good. So your icons across the top where it says the Divi builder,
Yeah.
we want the icon with the two arrows going up and down. It's the third icon in.
Yep.
Perfect. So click on that.
Yep.
And now we have our export and import options. So
Right.
our export file name, a person of
Yeah.
interest is great.
Yep.
So now we can just click the blue export Divi builder layout button.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Okay. So that should have saved it onto your computer somewhere.
Okay, let me put it into, I think I have a folder for Divi.
Don't move it because you're going to just import it in the next step.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to need it for the next step. You just need to know where it is.
Okay, well, why don't I put it, okay.
Just leave it where it is. Then you can delete it after.
You ready?
Save it there. Okay.
Okay. Now let's go
It's
to
still
one
saving
of your
just-
other book pages.
It's done. Okay. Now you want me to go to the other book page where we want to import it?
Yes.
Okay. Here. Okay.
All right. Once this loads, you're going to click on that same icon with the arrows going up and down.
Here. Right.
And we're going to click on the import tab this time.
Uh-huh.
And then where it says no file selected, you're going to click on that.
Okay. And you want me to retrieve that?
That file that was downloaded.
Okay. Open.
Yep. Okay. Under options, we want to untick replace existing content. And then we're going to click import Divi builder layout. The blue button at the bottom.
Okay. So now both of the sections will be in there, right?
Yes. So now from here, you should be able to scroll down and you'll see another like purple full width section for your
There,
person of
for
interest.
person of interest. Yeah. So it's a matter
now-
of copying and pasting the data from up here into this one.
Yep. And then delete what you don't need after that.
All right. Okay. So that was the up and down arrows, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that was export. And then go to, and so the next one will be, and the same, the up and down arrows and import and uncheck, replace, uncheck, replace, and that's it. Okay. I probably should have waited until I had fixed person of interest before I imported it, but I could do it again, right?
Yep.
Well, you can.
Okay, so I don't have to save this, probably.
No. Yeah. So yeah, definitely fix the one layout with the little
Okay.
corrections, and then you
And
can
then
export
do
the
this
layout again.
process again on both both of the subsequent pages.
Yes.
Okay,
And
Odd
then
that
I'll have the recording of this out later today
okay,
for you to review. So
excellent. Thanks
Okay.
for your indulgence, you guys.
I love
for
that
coming.
you're like building your own website. Just want to throw that out there. My mom can't even like figure out how to send an email, so I'm impressed that
Well,
you're teaching yourself.
I
It's great.
fought last night for about 3 hours with HTML and Amazon. Followed their directions and they still don't accept it. So I finally had to get my tech in Canada to come on in TeamViewer. I think it was about 3:30 in the morning last night. Anyway, we finally got my series uploaded to Amazon, so I'm ready to roll.
Good
And
job.
I'm expecting a shipment of books. I should get an email today, and I can go and pick up my books. And I'll have a couple of readings before for the launch for the series before I have to go back to Canada. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I had a comment on your books page, the one that lists the 3 books side by side.
Uh-huh.
One thing is, I noticed your photos, they're not like consistent with the title. There's a box around it, and the fonts are a little different size between person of interest and the other. The
Okay.
border box is different size.
Just a second.
You have a border.
Okay. Sorry.
That's on the books
Here.
link.
Books page. This one here?
Yeah,
Yeah, these are things I just did in BookBrush myself.
right. So the comment is just that I see that they're just not consistent. So my comment would be to make if you're putting borders around it, there should be borders around all the titles. The font should be about the same size.
Okay.
So they look just like almost like a cookie cutter, which as far as the general format of that.
Yeah, I can fix that. Good. Okay.
The other comment is on, you had the other text document. You're going to put a little bit of text above those 3 books, like this is a trilogy or whatever you called it.
This was the
Yeah, like sort of
this was the correct this is the correct text. I found it later. And so I was going to put these paragraphs beside the image.
Right,
and this at the top.
You're not sharing that window.
Oh, am I not? Oh. How come I'm not sharing?
You are sharing. We just see your browser. We don't see your Word document.
Oh.
Do you have more than one screen?
Yeah, you might have to stop and start again.
Stop sharing. Okay, I'll stop sharing. And a window. Okay, there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the text that I finalized for Amazon for the author page.
So my comment on this is when you put the intro paragraph at the top, it's sort of more like a description of what you see below. The comment would be to change it into a more action type of thing, so to arouse curiosity. So, for example, you just add the verb follow Samantha through her whatever story that is. So change it from describing it to something that is more action oriented.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I like that intro. Follow
Samantha, a young woman, through something. I don't know. I mean, but that's the gist of it. You want to switch it from a description to an action.
Okay. All right. So I can just take this chronicles the life of to follow Samantha through her tumultuous 20s, a decade cluttered with murders. How about that?
Yeah, short and sweet.
Okay, very good. Okay, and I can go in and change the Amazon page to be more active too. Good. Thanks, Eric.
Sure.
I was also going to throw in there, like on this page, you could have more calls to action too, like your buttons, like buy now or something. I know you have like learn more, but maybe something that actually motivates people to purchase your books on that, like under each paragraph. Like I know you have multiple ways to purchase each book, but that was going to be my advice.
Yeah, I think Dustin said to put all the buttons above it, all the buy links above it. Is that right?
Oh, that was like on the individual page. I'm saying on this page that you have all 3 books on there, you could still have something that tells people to buy the books instead of learn more. Or I don't know, you can think through the best way that you want to do that.
Much like Eric's suggestion of having action oriented using verbs to describe something.
Okay.
Buy now is more of an action as opposed to learn more, or check, it's just something to indicate, go here and buy, even that's a verb, go here and buy.
Yeah, because maybe some people won't even go to like the individual page. Maybe they will, but if they just land on that page, they'll still have ways to purchase your book, because maybe they don't care to read your whole like synopsis on the book or something. Like, I don't know, just an idea.
Yeah, definitely include some of the buy now links on your main book page as well, so people can quickly get to it without having to dig so deep for it.
Okay.
On the individual book pages, you have a bunch of those buy buttons at the bottom. So for me, I don't know if anybody else has the issue. I look at that. I didn't even know they were buy buttons. One, because they're all different sizes, and two, they're at the color green just blends right into your footer, so it doesn't stand out as something I should click.
Okay.
That- Maybe that's just me.
Yeah,
But
maybe like a complementary color to your green or something. And I agree with the same font size. It does. Yeah, it would be nicer if it was consistent.
like instead of, you have so many ways to buy it, you almost need like a box around the whole thing, or just like a background on that section where it's just, here's a buy now section, and then the more the buttons are all being the same size, and something like that.
Yeah.
To me, it just doesn't stand out like, oh, here's where I click to buy.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
I think you could think of it kind of like if you're downloading an app and it's like you can download on like Google Play versus like the Apple App Store, where the buttons usually are consistent, but they have like a different icon on there, but it's very clear that they're buttons and you go here to get your product. So you could treat it similarly. Now that has to look exactly the same, but the same kind of concept in terms of consistency and clarity.
Yeah.
I tried to get these two buttons the same size, but it was absolutely impossible. This Authors Direct from Findaway Voices and the Apple one, they give you a size, and it's very, very difficult to make those two for the audiobook the same size. Anyway, and the thing is, with the audiobook, there's no way I could put the buttons in for the audiobook because there's 42 different places that it's available, and this is the only one that is Authors Direct, which gives me 70%, and the other 42, they get a commission, or a royalty. So the buttons are a tricky thing to sort out and get them all the same size. And the reason this green is part of my branding colors, which I do not like anymore, and I'm wanting to rebrand.
Yeah, you actually have different shades of green. You sort of have that cool green at the top, and then at the footer you have this sort of muted warm green, and in the very bottom footer another warm green with an unreadable powered by elegant themes, which probably should be removed.
What's that?
There's a footer text in there, powered by elegant themes, or designed by elegant themes, powered by WordPress.
Oh yeah.
So you probably want to get rid of that and put a copyright or something like.
I thought that was something that came with Divi that you
can change.
Really? I didn't think you could touch that sort of stuff.
And Theme Customizer, you can edit the footer tag.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of going to orange and peach or something. But
Cool.
yeah, and I'm going to be introducing a new series, so that's going to be another problem when that comes, because I'm writing the first book. I drafted the first book in the new series in NaNoWriMo last November. So next fall, I'll have that ready to publish, and it'll be the first in the series. So I don't know. I'll be on this site a few times when that problem arises.
Cool. And we'll be here for another meetup when you run into problems.
Thanks for your input, guys.
Okay.
You bet.
No problem.
One more on your let's say your homepage, you have a logo and then your name, writer of intrigue and mystery. When I see that, I see the logo, it's like a white box with a feather or something in it.
Feather and a keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah, so
A quill
what I
pen.
would do is get rid of the white box, just invert the color so that your feather is white, and then it would just be on a, say, a transparent background. So
Yeah,
you don't need the white box. It doesn't contribute to your logo. It's just an artifact because you've copied and pasted that particular graphic had a white background.
Yeah, well, I drew it on white paper, so.
Right. So when you put it on a dark background like this green, for example, you would invert it so that it's just a white feather on a transparent, which would show up as a green background. So you wouldn't even see a box. That's how it shows up on your white paper. You just see the feather. You don't see a white box on a white paper, right? You just see the feather. Well, when you put it on a dark background, you have to invert the color.
Yeah. How do you do that on a scan?
So I don't know if you have any kind of these photo editors. Photoshop is one.
Yeah, I've got Photoshop and that sort of thing, but it's a drawing just like this in a book.
Yeah, you can scan it, and then in Photoshop you can just do like invert even.
Really?
There's yeah. Photoshop can change any color to anything, but there's even an invert button on Photoshop, which you'd use, but you would want to put it on a transparent background so that eventually when you change your green to a different color, you don't have to update your logo file.
What do you mean put it on a transparent? How do you do?
So that's in you would use like a PNG file, like that's within Photoshop as well. You can specify what the background is. Right now it's a background of white. You can specify a background of transparent.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll work on my logo. I'll work on my buttons. I'll work on my consistency.
Action verbs. Action.
My action words. Yes. Okay.
Nobody wants to know what it is. They want to be motivated. You have to write with intrigue and mystery so that they are enticed to follow along with what you are writing. They don't want to be informed.
What do you guys think about branding colors? For the thing is that I might write in different genres, but the branding is for the website or for me or for the books or for the series, each individual series, or would you have different series in different websites?
No.
Keep everything on your website.
Yeah.
Brand colors. I mean, the brand is Ardell Holden.
Yeah,
right?
It's me. It's not the content.
Right. So you could pick colors that have good contrasts that you like. If you're worried about it clashing with the book, you can always go with more neutral type colors. Your grays, your blues, blacks. They're just more neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Then chances of everything flowing together will be just fine. So
you're thinking coolers. Oh, great! Thanks, Eric.
You can spend hours there.
Okay.
Palettes.
Ardell, I am probably for 2 months from now, so April. I have someone who knows branding really well, and they're willing to talk to the group here about branding and the importance of branding. So, so keep that in mind. So you can create plans.
I also do branding, so if you need help.
Oh, is that right?
Great.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So anyways, we
by
have some
April, I'll be
resources
back
coming
in
down.
Canada. Managed to escape COVID down here. My husband is still positive, but I'm negative for COVID. And yeah, so in April I'll be back in Canada, and I'll change my image. Change my image. Get rid of the jowls. And change my image. In my water. You did stop recording, didn't you, Dustin?
Yeah.
Good.
Now.